Welcome to the Cherry Picker After Dark. I'm your host, Zach Cherry. With me, as always, is...
Just Eddie of Edward is Truth. Hi.
Hey. And very exciting episode for you today. We are doing our very first Scream Survivor based on Survivor, the reality competition show. Which,
yeah, it's like the fantasy football equivalent of Survivor with Scream characters.
With Scream, because I mean, it's just a merging of two things that I really love, because I've been a huge fan of Survivor for a while now. Like, I think that I first saw, I think, season 2 when that aired originally, which was like 2001. And I didn't really like stick with it, but it wasn't until 2013, 2014 that a friend got me into it, and I've been hooked ever since. And I actually, I literally, like, just the inspiration for this, because once I did a Melrose Place version of Survivor, if you can believe it or not. Just going back to my love of other like ridiculous things. But Edward, this is kind of your first foray into Survivor.
Yeah. I never saw a single episode of Survivor until this week for research. And I watched one season 41. I got to, my sister made herself as available as possible for me to text her and just ask her any questions. And you were very, very kind. You said, like, if you have any questions, you can. So I had like a strong support, because she is a Survivor freak. I don't even know her backstory. She's just always talking about it. And whenever we watch like Drag Race or anything, even anything that aligns with survival instincts or reality TV or anything, Survivor is always somehow kind of like brought into the conversation. I'm just like, it used to be in one ear, out the other. At least now I might get some of her references. So
yeah. And for anyone who is not familiar with Survivor, it's essentially a reality television show where they take between 16 and 20, depending on which season it is, strangers, and strand them on an island. And first they start into 2 or maybe 3 or sometimes 4. For the sake of this, it'll be 2 tribes who then compete against each other in challenges for immunity and rewards, and the losing tribe has to go to tribal council and vote someone off until they get to a merge and the tribes come together, and then they play individually until we get to the end, and the people who are eliminated become jury members, who then by the final 3, it'll be a final 3 in this case, will then vote for which one of those 3 gets the title of Soul Survivor and the $1 million cash prize, which we do not have. So right. Just imagine that the winner is getting the title and $1 million imaginary dollars.
Their fantasy fortune, yeah.
Yeah, and this is a Patreon exclusive episode. So just for anyone who is watching it on YouTube, I'm going to make the first. At least we're gonna pick the tribes, because we don't know. We've got all the. Like, the casting process is still very much live at the moment, so we're going to pick the tribes. We don't know who they're going to be, and we will compete in the first day, so we'll have the reward and the immunity challenge, and someone will go home, and if you want to watch the rest, you can subscribe on my Patreon to see how that plays out. But I do want to quickly just thank Kellen Whaley, who was very helpful. He put together a template for the entire season, which just included the reward challenges and the immunity challenges and all that. So that's going to be super helpful, because we're using actual challenges that were played in the show. And
thank you, Kellen.
Thank you. And he also came up with the brilliant idea. Well, actually, he asked me, like, this is something that he thought I would already instinctively have done myself, which I didn't. So I thank him for this suggestion, but he's just like, so who's the host gonna be? Is it Wes Craven? Because the host of Survivor is Jeff Probst. But to have it be Wes Craven is just a stroke of genius. So thank you for that, Kellen. just imagine as we go through this entire season of Survivor that Wes Craven is the host.
Yeah.
He's hosting all of the Scream characters, and I'm sure he'll have his favorites, as he does it during Tribal Council, where he is kind of a shit to some of them and like nicer to others. But how we're gonna do this is to draw the characters. We're gonna have 2 tribes of 18 players. Now we want a good balance of people, and who knows, this might be a hit. We're probably going to do this again in the future, so we want more seasons to go on. So we've picked the people that we want to have eventually play the game. So there's really no guarantee that Sydney or Gail or Dewey are going to play in this season. Or even together if they ever do, unless we get to an All-Stars. But we wanted to make sure that we at least have killers. Because if there was a season and there was no killers on the island, that would be kind of... Yeah, it wouldn't be as fun. Also, you and I didn't really discuss this beforehand, but just in terms of like the interpersonal relationships and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, because nobody's dead, obviously, but I don't think that the events that happened in the movie should be negated. Like, I don't think that, not to say that nobody's going to be like, not know that, like Billy and Stu are killers. Like, it's just more so like everyone's has a new lease on life. They've been resurrected and put on the island. So we'll put it there. They know who the killers are and they can choose to work with them or work against them. But, we'll leave it at that because we're going to go through where we think everyone's going to land just in terms of like alliances and that. So how we're going to start this is I'm going to start with the first tribe. And the first tribe is going to be called the Omega Beta Zeta tribe. So just because this is, it's 9 players per side and we're trying to like keep a gender balance like the typical Survivor does. So this is going to be a tribe made up of 5 females and 4 males. Mm-hmm. So I've got the killers in here. What I'm going to do is, because we're going to have 4 killers per season, so I'm going to pick 2 killers right now that are going to go on this tribe.
Okay.
And then we will alternate back and forth between male and female until we get the right balance. So our first...
Sure.
Sorry, they're stuck together. I'm not looking.
Of course.
Our first killer is Amber. Amber is playing in this season.
Yay!
And Amber is going on the Omega Beta Zeta tribe.
Got her.
So let's shake this up again. And the next killer who is on the Omega Beta Zeta tribe is Richie. I already don't like this tribe.
Fun. Okay.
So now you are going to pick a... Because you have the female characters on your side, so you're going to draw.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
What's that sound? Popcorn. You're making popcorn? Uh-huh.
Oh, shit.
Here. Because it's in a little popcorn thing. Okay. First, female person. Oh! Casey Becker!
Okay. All right.
I blessed myself. All right.
Casey Becker. Okay, now I'm going to pick a male character to go on this tribe. Chad.
Okay.
I don't even know if like people can see that, but Chad. All right. Let's get Chad in there.
Yay.
This is a very Scream 5 heavy tribe so far.
So far, yeah.
Yeah.
With one OG. Well, we'll see. Okay, I'm not looking because don't want to cheat. And the next lady person, Haley. Scream 2.
Hallie.
Hallie. Sorry, I always forget. I always forget.
Also,
Hallie.
I should also point out, we're recording this on March 3rd. The new movie has not come out, so Scream 6 characters are not in this yet. If and when, I should say when, because I don't think it's an if. When we do the next season, the Scream 6 characters will be incorporated. Mm-hmm. All right. This is fun. I'm already having such a good time.
Interesting little group.
Yeah. Tom Prince from Scream 3.
Matt Kiesler's role, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dewey. Movie Dewey.
Fake stab Dewey. Yeah.
Stab Dewey. Stab 3 Dewey. Yeah. Okay.
That's not David Schwimmer, but the...
Yeah, Schwimmer backed out. Okay. Yeah. Next lady person. Martha Meeks.
Oh.
Okay.
with her son on a tribe.
Right. Oh.
Yeah. I see an alliance forming, but right. that could be trouble for them too, because they know they're a pair.
That could be. We'll just have to wait and see.
So we're 7, so we need
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
We need one more dude and one more dudette. Dudette.
You're so cool, Brewster.
So
That's not Scream,
cool.
But
was that Shaggy?
No, it's a Fright Night. Evil.
Oh,
Brewster, you're so cool.
And Wes.
Oh, okay.
So yes, this is very Scream 5 heavy tribe. And who's the last member gonna be of the Omega Beta Zetas?
Okay, hold on. I just got Wes Hicks down here. Okay, and the last to pledge Omega Beta Zeta is Angelina Tyler.
Oh, where is she here?
Wow.
We've got someone from every, I was going to say season, every Scream, because there's Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 3. So like a lot of, not a lot, but like 3 Scream 3s and 4 Scream 5s, and then 1. There's no one from Scream 4. Sorry, I forgot.
No Scriforums. No
Scriforums.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be the Delta Lambda Zeta tribe.
Ooh, maybe.
Which is coming up next. Do I have the right one?
Delta Lambda Zeta.
The Killers. All right. And our first killer is Billy.
Ooh.
On the Delta Lambda.
Billy Loomis. All right.
Billy Loomis.
I'm sorry, could you speak up?
Little Carrie.
We're all over the place with the references now.
And Killer 2. It's almost like the Killers are the tribe captains. Charlie Walker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's our Scriforum representation.
There you go, finally. But of all people, interesting. Okay. So, a lady person now?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. And Lucky. And I have Liv.
This is basically all of the
Liv
Scream.
McKenzie.
We're using up our Scream 5 characters in
I know, right?
in the first season of Scream Survival.
Well, she couldn't be in Screevy, anyway, unless she survives with Stu. I don't know, but
well, anyone can be in the next season.
Oh, really? We're gonna let people come back.
Yeah, like anyone who doesn't get picked, they're gonna get picked.
Yeah, anybody who doesn't get, but she got picked. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah. She's not having any Screevy.
She'd have to come back for All Stars. Yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna happen, unless she somehow goes on a tear for some reason. We'll see, because we're playing this completely unbiased. We're not being favorable towards anyone.
Yeah.
Trevor.
Oh my God. Okay. So we got another
next.
Scriphorum.
Yeah, and this is 5 males and 4 females on this this tribe.
Okay.
There's Trevor.
So next lady. Mindy Meeks Martin. Wow.
How is this happening? Why are all these...
I don't know. Fate. It makes for an interesting dynamic, though.
Definitely. I hope that like Scream 5 characters don't dominate and just like an alliance.
Anything can happen.
On Scream Survivor. Oh! Joel.
Joel!
Yeah.
Okay,
One
cool.
of my favesies. Love Joel.
Poor Joel.
So we need
we've got
two more
Yeah.
ladies and one more
Yeah.
gent.
All right. Lois. Sorority sister Lois.
On
played
her
by Rebecca Gayheart.
Delta Lambda tribe.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay.
Milton.
Oh. Fuck.
Yeah.
Pig Milton.
Pig Milton.
I'm gonna write Pig Milton. Just
Sure.
That's gonna be his name. No bias, but he deserves it.
Yeah.
And the final member of Delta Lambda Zeta, the final lady person to pledge Delta Lambda Zeta is...
No.
Who do you think it is? It's Murphy.
Well, we've got a
Portia
solid
de Rossi.
alliance right there.
Or is it?
That
is funny.
Of Lois and Murphy. Okay, let's just look here for a minute and let's reflect.
Yeah.
Actually, before we do that, because normally when the tribes come and they meet each other, they go on the beach, and that's where Jeff would normally like start initiating things and like put them right into a rewards challenge. So in this case, it's going to be Wes Craven is meeting everyone on the beach
or in a crypt
to just they're on a beach. It's an island.
They're on a beach. Okay,
maybe there's like a cave somewhere that they're that's what he's led them into. But
Now
because of the challenge that they're actually doing, it has to be on a beach. It's sand.
Okay.
So
okay.
This challenge is called Battle Dig, and how it goes is that members for each tribe will race out to a marked location and dig up a bag. The castaways then compete to return the bag to their tribe's mat. The first person to touch the tribe mat with a hand on the bag scores a point for their team. The first tribe to win a given number of rounds wins the challenge. So this is going to mostly come down to being a physical challenge. And how they would normally do this is that they would pair off like women versus like the women versus women on the other tribe, and then there's like men versus men. Like essentially everyone's going to get an opportunity to play. But just with the way it is, it might be like there might even be one that's like man-woman versus man-woman. But I think for this, it's mostly going to come down to which tribe is physically stronger. So let's look at the Omega Beta Zetas, because who do they have that's probably strong on that tribe? I think that Chad is probably the strongest, just for being a football player.
Right. Tom might be up there too, though. Wes is pretty athletic. I'm only
Wes is
mentioning
probably
the men too.
Wes might be fast because wasn't he like out for a run when he came home?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he might
Yeah,
be
he
good.
was sporty.
Yeah, to like I don't know if he'd be like strong in terms of just like fighting someone off because they can like tackle each other while they do this and like hold each other down.
Right.
But he, if he can get away with the bag, he might be really good at that.
Yeah, if he's swift little guy.
I don't see Richie as being very athletic. He doesn't strike me as an athletic type.
I mean, it also depends on your perspective. I believe he is driven by rage and precision, but I think Amber's the one to really be worried about in a.
She's she's like
of the two killers.
Yeah, she's got
Nuts.
a lot of a lot of energy. She's
Yes,
like the
chaotic energy.
yappy little dog here. And like the other female characters, Hallie, I don't really see, not that to say that she's not strong, but I just don't see her as being like that effective with more so like physical challenges like this because she is kind of prissy.
I'm trying to remember because I can't think of like one example of her. She's got a lot of like confidence and she can talk a good game. But I'm trying to imagine her ever like kind of like physically dominating anything in Scream 2, and we didn't really get a lot of examples of that.
Yeah.
She's really easily surprised because of the way she died. So
yeah, I don't think that Hallie's
that easy to surprise.
I don't think Hallie's going to be much help
gonna do
in this challenge. Martha.
No.
It's hard to say because we don't really see her in any sort of like physical situation.
Is it also going to be Martha of Scream 3 or Martha of
It's
Scream?
It's all of Martha.
All of Martha? Yeah. I mean, she looks like she can...
She's popped out 2 kids.
Yeah, which is
I think
no
she
small
can.
feat.
I think she can probably get scrappy if she needs to.
Also, like, Martha's the kind of person who I'd imagine could, like, take a punch and just keep going, like, or anything. If somebody tried to tackle her, she could just keep clawing her way. I see Martha as someone who doesn't give up.
Okay,
like she's got that meek streak.
Okay, and Angelina, I don't really. Well, Angelina and Casey.
I mean, it hurts me to say it, but Casey was the first one in the entire franchise.
Well, Casey couldn't outrun the killer. So
no,
and we saw Angelina in Scream 3 after the infamous line that you said when she ran away. She had that really like awkward like going all over. She couldn't even walk run in a straight line.
An Anna Faris scary movie.
Yeah. Right? So I think that like the people who are going to be the strongest in this challenge are Amber, Chad, Wes, Martha, and Tom. With Richie, Angelina, Hallie, and Casey as
sorry, Casey.
That might not get a point for them. So, all right, let's look at the Delta Lambda Zeta tribe.
Okay.
We've got
geez. Like we got Billy,
who could probably hold his own. I mean, I don't like he's not a jock. But
no, but he's the one who got Casey.
He's got rage energy for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and speed and power.
He's not necessarily going to be facing off against Casey in this challenge, but
no. I mean, just like as an example in the past, like as a reference, like he's got that going for him. I think Joel's going to be a force to contend with.
I don't know if like. He'd be that much of a physical force because he kind of strikes me as like someone who's just more like he just wants to chill and relax because he's like I just want to go get my donuts and my Prozac.
But at the end of Scream 2, the way he's all right, let's do this thing, like I feel like he'd also.
But that's like pep. That's just like in terms of like doing his job. We're only looking at this from like a physical standpoint right now in this challenge. We're not not deciding overall.
Uh-huh.
But I think like probably Trevor would be on on par with Billy.
You think?
Yeah, probably.
I
He's
mean,
kind
I
of because
guess
Trevor's kind of like the new Billy, like
prototype.
proxy, and yeah, it's like Scream 4.
Liv is crazy also. So
I could see Liv get scrappy for some reason.
I would not put anything past Liv. She is
Yeah.
nuts. Okay, Trevor, I'm putting a little plus by.
I think
I mean,
Charlie could probably like he would be fast because we've seen him run.
he's a henchman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mindy's a stoner.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, and I don't think.
So unless they're like,
Yeah.
dangling a Mars bar
Yeah.
at the mat for her to come back, whatever. But
I don't see
probably
Milton
not.
as being effective. He's like the old dude on the tribe.
I mean, I'm sure
And-
that's how everybody's going to see him too. But he's also creepy old.
Yeah.
So, but I see
I mean,
him trying to make
this
time.
is potential first boot.
I feel bad for Lois and Murphy being on the team with him because they look like starlets, So anyway,
Yeah.
So Milton,
But that might be an alliance, like if not a good one, but we'll talk about alliances in a
Yeah, we will,
bit.
we
Let's get to the rewards. So it looks like the strong people in this are Billy, Charlie, Liv, Trevor, with like maybe Joel. I don't think so. Versus Amber, Chad, Tom, Wes, and Martha. I think that the Omega Beta Zetas probably have the slight edge here.
we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Okay. I'd say Omega Beta Zeta
Is getting reward.
I'm just looking at them because I'm thinking Billy's imposing, but
Sometimes what it comes down to is like you're only as strong as your weakest players.
that's true.
And I don't think, like, looking at the weakest tribe members on Omega Beta Zeta, like if we're going to say that just in terms of physical strength, that's like Casey and Angelina, because Casey like full on like decked Ghostface with the phone.
She did.
She
feel
like kicked him
all of-
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of our minuses, like all of our Richie, Casey, Hallie, and Angelina, all could be motivated to push through, like to push
Yeah.
beyond like the limits we're kind of imposing on them. So you know what? I agree with you. Omega Beta Zeta takes it here.
Okay. All right. Let's give them the little reward. Okay, and the reward is a fire making kit, which is very useful to have because that means that they can start building their fire, building their shelter, because now each tribe
Right.
has gone off to their own beach to do that. So this is the section of the show where they're making their shelter, they're mingling, they're getting to know each other. So already right off the bat, we've got the Omega Beta Zetas, and their spirits are much higher because they've won. So let's start to look at where the alliances might fall here, because the first thing that I picked out
Yes.
is that Chad is a football player and Casey likes to date football players.
He's big and he plays football and he'll beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see, and if he's already got his mom as an alliance member there, I can see Casey, Chad, and Martha. I'll just put them together here as a unit so far. And I might even say that Wes could be part of that because they're in the same friend group, and we know that Chad really likes Wes because he threw the little memorial party.
Right. Right.
But the question is like, how salty are these people? Because that's the thing. Like, do they like forgive and forget being murdered by Amber and Richie, or do they just kind of like see the significance in having them on the tribe and wanting to work with them? Because it's already right there. If Amber and Richie are definitely in an alliance. There's
I mean,
no
everybody who comes onto, I agree with you there, but everybody who comes onto the show is immediately like motivated to win, kind of at almost any cost.
Yeah.
At least in the beginning, from the get go, like they're willing to kind of do what it takes. So, I mean, you can. One thing that I was taken by seeing the season that I watched was how many people did not trust each other, but would, behave in a civil manner and maybe even put on a face, just to kind of like, hey, we're doing great. So I think they'd, on the surface at least, play nice, just for the good of the team while they're plotting, like while they're making their alliances and while they're going like, we can't trust them. Hey, Amber. Hey, Richie.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. So I think like right now, those four are for sure in an alliance, and Amber and Richie are in an alliance, and they might say they're all working together, but I think the question marks here are going to be, where do Hallie, Tom, and Angelina fall? Because Angelina and Tom, there's a deleted scene where it was on the thing, and it was kind of like she was kind of turned off by it, but like in the movie after he dies, she's like, Tom was in the house. So I think that there's still I think that they would still work with each other because there's like the familiarity there. So I think that they would definitely be a pair as well. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, where does that leave Hallie? Because I can see Hallie as being like a really good social player.
Yes.
That would, make a lot of connections with people, that I don't see her as, being someone who would be at the bottom of the tribe.
I'm getting a strong sense that Hallie and Casey might have a lot in common. Just because of like the impression we get of Casey and who she was at school. She was dating a football player. She was liked and known, and Hallie with her sorority aspirations and everything like that. I feel like their personalities might click really well together. They might speak the same language. So there's a possibility there.
There's definitely I can see Hallie and Casey being friends, or just like connecting with that.
Sure.
So let's put Hallie there for now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that in Amber and Richie's mind, I think that they would probably, if they're in an alliance, they'd probably see Tom and Angelina and want to scoop them up and just be like, hey, we can work together, and then hopefully try to flip.
Certainly.
Yeah, try to flip someone on the other side. And Angelina's like just always been a big question mark, because like who knows, like she's very erratic. She's all over the place. So, I don't think she's that reliable. But
I can see her trying to be nice to everybody, like not really knowing where she herself fits in, and a lot of people kind of perceiving her as weak. I can definitely see that.
I can see her as like, being potential.
Amber and Richie might want to manipulate that. They might want to exploit it. Amber in particular. I don't know why I see Amber just kind of like, hey, how are you doing? It's really scary being here on this island, huh?
Yeah.
So, what are you afraid of? Something like that.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to start with a tribal alliance there. So let's look at Delta, Lambda, Zeta.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Obviously, Lois and Murphy are a pair.
Obviously.
I want to say that Mindy and Liv are not going to be working together.
Why? Yeah, no, I understand completely. Yes, I agree. Wow, poor Mindy. Mindy and Joel might be able to be down with each other, just because they're both like super chill.
Yeah.
And they're surrounded by a lot of really uptight white people.
Do you think that there's going to be like maybe a bros alliance on this tribe with like Billy, Charlie, Trevor? Maybe they would try to recruit someone like Joel, and then, or even they could kind of like try to recruit Lois and Murphy to like get them in there, just because they might think that Billy is hot and
right,
get in on that.
I can definitely see Charlie wanting to like hitch his wagon to Billy's cart, whatever. His cart to Billy's the horse. I don't know. Whatever the thing is, you know what I'm saying. Trevor, I think, would definitely be somebody they would zero in on just because Charlie knows him, and I think Billy could recognize something corruptible there. But Joel, as far as Joel, I feel like pretty soon it'd be established that Joel isn't about the bullshit, and that, you know, I feel like they would start talking to Joel, and he might kind of get like a, okay, great, whatever, and slowly kind of like back away. But as far as Lois and Murphy, I'm wondering if Charlie and Milton, because they're both creeps, might, or at least that's the way I perceive them, might like kind of make a beeline for them. But I'm wondering if Lois and Murphy might gravitate toward Liv also.
I think Liv is just a little too like she doesn't meet the criteria for Delta Lambda. Like they might just think she's kind of maybe too crass or erratic or not ladylike.
She'd probably turn them off really soon.
Yeah.
I can see them being friendly to her and then her just kind of, what? Yeah. You know? But,
yeah.
Okay. So Billy, Charlie, Trevor, and Milton, I can definitely see at least opening doors with each other because they're all kind of creepy in their own way.
Creepy,
you know, all kind of like
alpha, except for Charlie. Yeah.
That's the thing, and each one of them is probably going to think that they're the alpha or think that they'll fake being a beta so they can usurp the power and become an alpha.
I see this as being like,
live by that.
Whereas like the other tribe, like I feel like the lines are pretty clear, even if they're being fake to each other. This is one where I see like there's probably a lot of alliances all over the place, because even if all the guys are like in an alliance together, the girls certainly aren't going to be in an alliance together, and Mindy's not going to work with Liv. And I could probably see actually Charlie and Mindy maybe working together just because they have movie fandom in common.
Oh my god, that makes me so mad. But you think it'd be isolated? Like she might, because I think she might get turned off around Billy and.
I don't think she would though, because she like. Mindy is kind of...
Well, Billy's a movie fan too, is the thing. Like, if they find out that she's into horror movies, that makes me scared for her. But
no one's killing anyone. Actually... It's Survivor. There's a no-kill policy.
No, I know, but I can just feel like my blood curdling, just like... But okay, yeah. So Liv's basically on her own. On day one, like,
is there anyone who would work with Liv? Like, would Joel or Milton?
I mean, Milton would make a play for anyone who would talk to him, I feel, and maybe Liv would. I don't know how.
And maybe like would Liv and Trevor? Like, how would that go?
Maybe because they're both trash. They're both trash people. So actually, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Liv and Trevor, I like that.
So maybe this is a case where like they start to try to like do a bros alliance, but it just kind of implodes really quickly because everyone sees that there's other people that they, you know, like anytime you get like one specific gender, you know, trying to build an alliance together, it usually falls apart because people realize quickly they don't want to work with a certain person.
Well, you always get that turning point on the episode where they're just kind of like, I was all for it being like an all-girls Final Four, but now...
Yeah. there is no Final Four girl power with these four ladies, so... that's interesting. Okay, so you think that Milton, Trevor, Liv could be like a threesome?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's gross. That's great.
Okay, and Mindy would be aligned with Billy and Charlie.
Unfortunately, I guess, yeah.
And then I guess that leaves
Joel, Lois, and Murphy.
Well, Joel's kind of like in the middle. Joel's
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
But you know what? Joel might do that. He might not be all that like gregarious and like, hey, I just want to like team up with someone. He might just be like hanging back, just trying to like play it cool.
yeah.
And just observe, just see where things go before he starts like committing. That makes sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to the immunity challenge of this episode, which is called Quest for Fire. Tribes have a raft fitted with a fire cauldron and 2 torches. The tribes will use the torches to light a series of torches or walks both on land and in the water. All members must have their hands on the raft at all times. The first tribe to reach the finish wins. So a lot of this has to do with, because they're sort of like in the water. They're not like on the raft. They're like pushing this floating thing that has the cauldron on it and having to like grab a torch as they like move by and light each one of these things along the way until they get to the end. So this is a physical challenge, but it requires
another one.
It requires a lot of
cooperation,
swimming and cooperation. There's definitely more cooperation than the last reward challenge.
Okay, so who's more likely to cooperate?
Well, because we already know that it's not even a matter of like cooperation, but just like working well in team. Because we already know that the Omega Betas are stronger. But just because there is that, like you said, like Amber and Richie are just they're being fake nice to each other. They're like pretending to work together. I think that there's still like more cohesion that they can get through a challenge, whereas the Delta Lambdas are so divided just in terms of like where does everyone fall.
I agree.
So I think that the immunity is going to go to the Omega Beta Zetas. Or they might just dominate
for now.
Yeah, and have you put the reward down for every member of the Omega?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We're gonna keep track because we want to. That's another factor because reward, like having things boosts like physical strength and morale and all that. So, okay, we're gonna have to deal with the Delta Lambdas sooner than we thought. So, we're now going to tribal. And Wes Craven is looking to snuff someone's torch. So
okay,
Tribal
Council.
Yeah. So I think that Billy, Charlie, and Mindy seem like a very strong alliance because those are also
from the offset. Yes,
those are also like very like. Like they've got a good balance of like everything because like you know you have Billy who's probably physical. Charlie has shown that he's you know can be physical and endurance and all that, and also mental. I don't know if he's like that socially adept, but Mindy certainly is. Like I can see Mindy playing a good social game. I don't think Billy would play a good social game, but that's why it's good for him to have these people.
Stupid.
No. Yeah, no. Billy would be terrible socially. And it's almost like one of those cases where I can see like Lois and Murphy just like, you know, kind of doing how they scout for pledges for their sorority of just looking who's the most capable, what people do we want on our, because I believe in Lois and Murphy's mind, they're the main alliance and they're looking at other people and being like, who can we bring into our alliance when really it's other people bringing them into their alliance. So I think that between Billy, Charlie, and Mindy versus like Trevor, Milton, and Liv, they're going to be more inclined to go with, you know, the Billy one. So, and I think, like you said, Joel's kind of like, he's still kind of floating. Like he's just there hanging back. So I'm pretty sure that the first person to go is going to be one of the three of the Milton Alliance, we'll call it. Do we come up with names for alliances too?
Do we? You know me on the spot.
Yeah, it'll take too long.
The Milton Alliance is
the Milton Alliance. I think that.
But
I don't think that they would get rid of Trevor just yet because they're gonna want just him to be in challenges.
And I think he's easily manipulated. I think they would perceive that he can be controlled easily.
And I think it's going to come down to it's going to be either Milton or Liv, because I think that Liv is still capable in challenges, but I think that like both of them are going to be off-putting to people, but I feel that Milton is more like reserved off-putting. Like he's like his won't be apparent right away. Whereas I feel like Liv has like less control over, you know, how she presents herself in a situation.
Some people wear their heart on their sleeve. She wears her crazy on her face.
I mean, it depends. Is this tribe, are they concerned about like crazy or like an old person slowing them down in challenges?
Well, considering the fact that they just lost 2 physical challenges, you know, I feel like there's a case to be made for both of them, but maybe again, like the way I think they would keep Trevor around because he's young and dumb and easily kind of malleable. Maybe Liv may be crazy, but maybe they can exploit that crazy when they need it to push forward in physical games. Because Milton seems incredibly sedentary to me. I can't see him pushing. Lance Henriksen, hell yeah, but not Milton.
All right.
I feel like Milton would look down on all of them too, and I think they would sense that and want to get rid of him.
Let's say that
Pig Milton
Pig Milton is the first boot.